Hey everybody, I'm in the blueprint mode in the home feature PUBG, and I can't wait to take you through the process of how I created this level 32 Lunar Castle. Now let's go ahead and start on the build, and I always like to lay down some large flooring to save on structures and material. And if there's no room for the larger flooring, I usually put the single flat surfaces at the back of the house. Although I do see an issue here. There's a space between the roofing and the ground, which is not ideal. Looks like all the new roofs have a space in the middle that raises them up, so I think I'll switch to the white cafe roof. And I like that you can add whatever material you prefer. Now I'm thinking, since I want to have some floating areas and a grand entrance, the main castle will be towards the back, and then I'm doing a pattern of a single square, double square, 4 squares for the grand entrance, and windows on the stories right below where I intend the roof to be. And now there needs to be a way to get to the castle doors, so I'll go add some stairs and a pathway. Then I want the entrance to have more of a sturdy, grounded look to contrast the floating island, so I'll add in more structures, and then I'll do the stone material later. There will be some secret rooms, so I'll add in some doors as well. And gotta add some railings for more detail and of course safety. Now let's go and make the two sides connect. And I'm using basic walls for this section so that I can add the stone material to add some contrast to the castle. And then I'll go in and fill in the space and connect it all the way to the main castle. Some of the flat surfaces are turned the wrong way. Let's go and fix that. Okay, much better. Now the new stairs are only faced one way, so I'm gonna use the basic stairs, and then I'll just add some pretty material later. I want a strong foundation too, so I'll add in some more walls in here. And then it's not possible to put any walls on top of the new door, so I think I'm gonna have to cheat a little. I mean, come on, the icy door is pretty close to the theme. Ran out of building area space, so I need to add the new floating devices. This roof is not wanting to be placed, so I'll need to add some more floating stones under the space I want the roof to be located. And then I can add some castle toppers to finish off the main castle. Although I want to fill in the airspace more, so the curved quarter wall would work really well to save on structures. Then all I gotta do is put down the tower, add in some more walls, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. And look at that. Okay, I've been wondering it seems like it might be possible to put this on top. I saw the green, Kemi, we did it! Now back here does not look snazzy with the roofing, so I'll go ahead and hide it. Need some stairs to get up there, and now we have a room. Don't know what's going in the room, but we got one. Now I'll close in this open space, make this one giant room, and then add some more railings. This one is perfect for the middle, and I'll go in and finish that up. And now that the front of the castle is figured out, I'll go ahead to the back, and honestly, the double space windows are so perfect for saving on structures. But for here, I'll change up the walls a little because I want to add a nice little balcony for the back of the castle. And now for inside, the floating stones we use for the top of the castle are really blocking the entrance. So this took some time to figure out, but I was thinking about using some quarter stairs to bring you away from the floating rocks. And then I wanted to use the theme stairs, but because they have a railing and the entrance is a double door, you'd ram right into the railing, so can't have that. The white and pink stairs don't have a railing, so I think I'll go with those. I'll add another set of half stairs to finish bringing the path down to one full story to get to each side of the castle, and hey, now I can use those lunar half stairs, so that's really nice. And as for closing up the space, the double windows will get cut off, so I'm just using the walls. Then I'll go ahead and add in some structures. Okay, I can't wait. I really want to see what the new material will look like. Just look at that shine. It's so pretty in this lighting. And now I'll go ahead, fill in more structures to close in the space. And then I'll create some stairs to get to the first floor. And I'll make sure that, try to make sure it's in the right direction. And okay, there's this tall, tiny space and a room really wouldn't work here. So I was thinking, what about a waterfall? I mean, this is a magical castle, like, look how pretty that is. Now, if we go through these walls, there's this wide open space, but I wanted to connect to the main castle, so I'll add a door and it can kind of be a sort of bridge to get to the balcony. And I'm gonna need to switch out these walls so that it's all basic walls for below and purple windows for above. And then as for the last balcony, I'm gonna switch the basic wall for a half one to make it higher than the others, just to kind of switch things up a little bit. Actually, I was thinking, let's go ahead and switch out the normal flat surfaces for the new ones, and I'll have the door match the material, and then I'll just add in some railings for the bridge. I'm also really excited to see we got some new 2-story pillars. Like, it's really been a minute. This side of the castle feels a little overwhelming, so I'll go ahead and close it up. Not even have a door, just an archway. And then due to the room's shape, a kitchen or maybe a bedroom wouldn't really work, but what if it's a long staircase that goes all the way to the top of the castle? Like, there needs to be a way to get up there anyways. Need a way to leave, so I'll add a floating stone and an archway to separate the inside from the outside. And then I'll go ahead, add some more structures to fill in this room. Let's add some floating rocks to fill in the space. I want a pathway to the front as well as a walkway to a miniature garden, so I'll add some spiraling staircases, and the game is preventing me from adding that structure, so I need to add more floating stones underneath it. Now it's possible to add the path, so I'll go ahead and finish it off with some double railing. Look at that, it's so cool. And over here, as soon as I saw there was like a lonely floating stone in the corner, I was like, you know what? This is now a waterfall. And let's do a pathway to get to the other side of the castle safely, and another pathway in the back. I want to add some stone stairs, and since I want them together, I need to add some floating rocks so that it's easier for the stairs to connect together. Now I'll add more of a path with stairs that lead back down to the lower story. Oh, and I love the idea of using these pillars. They're technically from another theme, but they work so well with the new one. Now, back at the front, I'll add more of a path for the floating castle, and there's just gonna have to be a pond in the middle because this is a magical castle. Then I finally have a place I can put the new door, so I'm very excited about that. And I'll go ahead and fill in all this space. Now, these stairs are a bit finicky, so what I figured out is instead of using two long stairs, I'll use the new half spiraling stairs so that the stairs lead to the back of the castle instead of the front of the castle. And let's add some more structure, a door, and the walls create a kind of natural railing, which is pretty cool. I also want to make it like the castle is floating, so I'll add some floating rocks on the side of the castle. Let's add some windows and a roof, and the castle topper, and more railings just for the sake of adding more details. Okay, we finished with all the buildings, so now we can go and explore the castle. I also added in all the furniture so we can just go and enjoy. Let's go on up. Look at that. It's so pretty. Let's go back down. And if we go out here, I added the secret room behind the plant. There we go. So now we have access to the underground garden. I added in some seating over here. And the water is so beautiful. Though this area, I made it stone since it's more formal sitting. We don't want our chairs in water. The items are so pretty with the trees and the waterfalls. Let's go and check out the other side real quick. It's about the same as the other one. A replica. I really like... Oop, stuck in a tree. I really like symmetry. Wow, you can really see the crystals from up here. You know, I didn't plan it out, but I wonder if we can parkour over there. You can! Oh, that's so cool. Okay, awesome. Now we can get a different angle. Can we get to that one? Should be able to, yeah. Okay, cool, awesome. We're able to. I love the little fairy chairs. Can we do the last one? I don't think we're gonna be able to. Nope! I fell right down. The vines just kicked me right off. Let's go out here, see the back. Wow. That is so pretty. Let's go back up the stairs and... Okay, I've been wondering, would it be possible to parkour up the floating rocks to get to the top? So... if we go on the, whoops, I fell. If we go on the railing, would we be able to? We can. Okay, awesome. Very cool. Ooh, can we also? Okay, we can. But can we get to the top? Can't go this way, but if we go up the railing, okay, awesome. Oh, that's so cool. I love learning what items are good for parkour. Okay, got distracted by parkour. And down here, I decided to just create a small little sitting area. And then this way, I use the towers just to kind of fill in that space, which worked really well. Look at the waterfall with all the shiny material. And the waterfall from up above is falling through the ceiling. That is so cool. Okay, let's head down to the first story. And instead of any room in particular, I just added in some decoration, going for kind of a hotel vibes, but it's a castle, still a magical castle. Just more tasteful, not too crowded over here. And now over here, the castle is flooded from the garden, so I thought, you know what, instead of fixing it, why not just add in some plants as a barrier? That way it'll be a bit more natural and make it a fountain. And then we got our balcony up here, another view of the garden. And we have the grand entrance over here. And I just added a little seating area, but I really like the plants hanging down from up above. Oh yeah, they were pretty tricky to place, but I was able to find a little area for the curtains. And then I just added some clouds along the way just to add more details and just for fun. And then we can come through out here. So I was able to fall down, but I don't think it's possible to get back through here. Magical castle problems. And then for over here, since the floating stones are really close above, I just kept this area pretty sparse and just added some natural railings to save on structures. Through here is a long pathway. I wanted it to be kind of foresty, though I did add a swing to make it a bit more nice and cozy. And I love the idea of the waterfall landing into the pond. It's so cool. And then we made it to the miniature floating castle, where you can head inside and play the piano, or head along the shortened spiraling staircase to get to the balcony. Look at that ceiling, it's so pretty. Go ahead to the balcony. And now if we head down here, I made sure that it was possible to get all the way to the front of the castle. And then I just added a little fairy chair so you could sit down and enjoy the ambiance. Then we can get back up pretty easily, back over to the stairs. Let's go on up, only to go back down. I don't think I fully thought that through. And then for this bedroom, I decided, you know what? Every castle needs a bedroom fit for a princess. If there's gonna be a room in this castle, it'll be a princess bedroom. I also have the little pathway to the other side, and it's actually possible to go through down these rocks. And then I added a little seat here so you can sit down and see anyone who arrives at the castle. And can you parkour? You can. Okay, cool. That's fun. And we can climb up here. That's really good. We don't have to fall down and start all the way from the beginning again. And let's go on up. You know what? I wonder, do you even have to? Huh, you don't. You can just walk across the formation. You don't even have to jump across. And we made it to the last area of the castle. Look how far the tree is. It's so tiny. We're so high up. I can't believe how high we can make our homes now. Well, I hope this castle gives some inspiration for your own home. It was so much fun to build, and learning how all the new items can work together, just very different from my lovely haunted mansions. So just a really fun challenge, doing something more whimsical and beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!